Hello, I am back again with yet another video. As you can see, different background. Got a lot of spare time for my college lecture start, so I forgot to do this video last night. So I thought, hey, I have spare time, I'll do it now. Um, so this video is the title is Being a Girl and Having FASD. I kind of want to do this because in some ways, anyone with FASD is the same, but different bodies and all of this, so all of that, yeah. Um, so, mainly I'll be talking about, your time of month and how that affects someone with FASD. It affects every girl pretty much out there, and I think we can all agree it sucks. But for me anyway, my period affects me more than just cramps and stuff. So yeah, might as well begin. Okay, so when I get my period, I get I could the sign that I'm getting my period is I will begin binge eating more than usual, and it will be random things. I mean, it can be very blocks of cheese and cucumbers or chocolate or crisps, or it can be anything. So that for me is me knowing, okay, I'm coming onto my period. I can be more kind of emotionally vulnerable. So I might someone could give me a strange look, and that could kind of make me feel more anxious because my hormones and emotions are everywhere. So, or I might get, usually if I've done something that I shouldn't have, which happens a lot, and usually if I get shouted at or told off, I can take it. But I find that when I'm on my period, I'm more emotional, so I'll just begin crying, and then I will not understand why I'm crying, which then makes me even more angry because I'm crying and I don't like showing my emotions. Also, I call them brain freezes. When I'm on my period, my brain doesn't function as good as it usually would. Not that it functions very well, actually, thinking about it, but it functions even worse. So I could be asked to do like 5 small little jobs, and I might be able to do the first 2, and then I'll either forget, my memory goes worse when I'm on my period, so I find it harder to remember things. So I need to be reminded, but at the same time, my parents have to be very careful what tone and how they say it because of my hormones. I get upset, and it's easier for me to blow up when I'm on my period. Emotions, my emotions are everywhere. Some periods I'll be fine. I will, my memory will be worse. So jobs might not get done. It might take a lot longer to be done. Sorry. Ordinary day-to-day things, I might be forgetting more, so I need to be reminded more. But they have to be careful with how they word it, so it doesn't sound like it's being ordered or anything. It's just, gentle. Maggie, have you remembered to do this today? Instead of saying, Maggie, you haven't done this, go and do it. Maggie, I know I reminded you earlier, can you just go and check that I actually did this, and if you haven't done it, it's fine. Just you can maybe go and do it now. Just something like that, instead of saying, you haven't done this job, I've asked you 20 times to do it, go and do it. And that would set anyone off, I think. So that would be, just how you word it. And, just gentle reminders. Because I could be asked to do a job 10 or 20 times, and when I'm on period, it just doesn't register with me. I just can't process it. Also, reminders, especially if it's periods and it's maybe the first time getting the period or something. If you're going to use I start off with using sanitary pads, just because it's slightly more manageable. But even then, or even if if you decide to go down the whole tampon and all of that, to begin with, especially first few times, reminding, being subtle about it, but just reminding, have you changed your tampon? Or just, I think now would be good if you haven't changed it in a while. I think now you should go and do it, or just something very subtle. Because as many of you know, leaving tampons in for too long can lead to horrendous, bacteria, infections, and sometimes lifelong kind of effects. I know all this, and even these days, and I've been on my period for the last 8-9 years or longer. I can still forget to change my tampon. Just because I just don't think of it. It's not out. It's only comes once a month. It's not my daily routine. So just making sure to maybe just do a few reminders and not being subtle enough that it's not overly obvious what you're kind of asking, but at the same time not too subtle that you don't know what you're meaning. Also just making sure, and maybe just if, your child is taking tampons and sanitary pads to school, if they bring a little bag, just if you keep an eye, make sure there's always tampons or my voice is going, sanitary pads in there, just so it never runs out, because there's nothing more stressful than being in school and getting your period and then realizing you have nothing. I've done that plenty of times, and even if you include a spare pair of knickers, that's very useful. It just, it may seem like something small, but it really does help. Also, oh my, sorry. Also, if you have like a very, very secret stash of chocolate or something, if they're having a really bad period, just to bring out a bit of chocolate, makes everyone feel better. Also, if there is an accident, if they do get blood, just let them know it's okay to come to you, that then you're not going to get angry, just because it's a not a nice time for any girl, really. Some people get them worse than others, and then so really the brain freeze is a big thing. You just have to accept that for maybe a week you're not going to get very much done from your child. Things won't get done. Jobs might get half finished. And it's not them pulling a fast one. It's just brain period doesn't go together. Also, the way my period works, I lose my appetite, so I'll eat small amounts only. So the way my mum kind of combats that, is just she lets me nibble all day, because I just can't eat large amounts of food. I just have no hunger. Memory, I think I kind of, my memory is just not as good when I'm on my period. So just maybe saying it, also writing it down, maybe using pictures, and just be really very, very patient, and just accept some things just won't get done, and that's okay. And emotions, I think every girl's emotions are everywhere on their period. People with FASD, it might be slightly more extreme. They might be overly tired, overly upset. So just be careful on your tone, or the way you word things, to try and just avoid any blow-ups. Yeah, If you have watched my other videos, welcome back. If you haven't, check them out. I will drop my channel link in the comments, or actually I'll do it in the description of this video. I hope you enjoyed, and as I said on my last video, every video I will leave you with something quirky. So I've decided to leave you with a very funny, wacky, kind of fun quote. And so the one I'm choosing today is, "Admit it, life would be boring without me." And I think any parent or anyone who knows I know with FASD can totally relate. We have our moments of being humorous, quirky, wacky, funny. Yeah, and life would be very boring without FASD in the world, I think. With that, I'm going to end. Thank you for watching, and please do comment feedback. I really kind of work off feedback, so more feedback I get, the better I can try and improve these videos. Bye. So thank you, and goodbye. See you soon.